And so let's assume you're interested in Napoleon and the French Revolution.
Yeah.
What do you do? How do you prepare? What's the process of going from, I'm curious about Napoleon, to, this is what I have to teach you. This is your access to understand this moment in history.
Yeah, you know, and so once again, I approach it from what my brain would like to see. Like, what would the ideal, and for me, in history in particular, and I don't feel like I got this in the history books, and even now when I prepare, I'm not getting it from the history books on my shelf, is like, I like to see a scaffold, I like to see a map, I like to, you know, what is the Holy Roman Empire? Like, what is that now?
Well,
like,
the Ottoman Empire.
The Ottoman, what are these things? You know, people can just keep referring to them, but if I can't, so I like to, so what I do is, for history, I immerse myself in as much as possible. I usually read Wikipedia entry first, just to get the scaffold.
Oh
yeah. No,
I go for the scaffold myself.
Get the scaffold,
just as a learning experience.
Just as a learning experience.
I want to see where it fits.
Exactly.
I want to see the geography of the place.
Exactly.
And what does it look like?
Exactly. And the beauty now, also Wikipedia. If I find cool maps along the way, I copy and paste. You know, I make sure they're in the public domain. I copy and paste, stick it on my my little Blackboard art program, and sometimes I'll draw out a timeline just to make sure I get the years right. But the main thing I do, whether it's history or chemistry or anything, is get the scaffold and then really immerse myself for however long it takes, and then make sure that I can make intuitive connections between everything that happens. And you know, and this is where,
what's that, an intuitive connection?
Understand why something, you know, if I'm doing it on the neuron, why, you know, a biology book will tell you, okay, the signal goes across because there's a myelin sheath. And I'm like, yeah, but how does putting a little tissue around a neuron, how does it make the signal go faster, right? And no biology book will tell you that answer. And I'd kind of ponder it a bit, and then I was like, well, you know, it's kind of like a fiber optic system, and you can, one's kind of amplifying the signal, but if you amplify too, and then I'd call up some buddies who are either biologists or communications engineers, whatever. I was like, does this make sense? They're like, no, I think you're right. And so it's a big deal for me to, if I'm doing biology, why does the myelin sheath make the signal go faster? If it's history, wait, why did this artillery captain all of a sudden come to power? Like weren't there other people around? Like these obvious questions are important for me to answer.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is sometimes you call a buddy and you're like, I know you're going to think I'm stupid when I ask you this, and you're probably going to think I have no business making a video on this considering I'm asking you this question, but you know, why does the sarcoplasmic reticulum release these ions when this happens? And they're like, you know what? We don't know. And I was like, why didn't the book tell me that?